And again, monetizing Facebook and Instagram. This is the first of a 4-part series for 2022 with Altamise. We had a great series last year for 2021. Looking forward to this one. And then Altamise Nicole, founder of the Ezer agency. And she is fabulous. She's one of our favorite workshop presenters. You can see all her accolades, and she's doing amazing things, and you will learn so much today. So we are ready to go, Altamise, and I'll hand it over to you.
Fantastic. So thank you all for joining. Please know this is more of a conversation rather than me speaking at you all. So if you have any questions at all, like I'm literally keeping an eye out on the comments and in the chat and things like that. It is a lot of information. I'm very, very aware of that. And I also know that there's going to be a visual component of helping you guys kind of see how this process works that will not be there. So if you have questions as we're going through, please feel free to ask. So on the agenda today, we're going to talk about kind of like the elephant in the room, the recent name change to Meta and what that means in terms of Facebook and Instagram. We'll start there, and then we'll also talk about the commitment that Facebook recently made to content creators and the small business community, and how that actually integrates with all of the features that we'll talk about in the next couple of slides. We'll also discuss the differences between business accounts and creator accounts. This is more specific to Instagram. However, on Facebook, you can have the same. So you can have a business account or business professional page, or you can have a content creator professional page. But it really does apply a little more to Instagram because it changes your algorithm on that platform. We'll also talk about, go into the nitty-gritty of the actual features and ways you can monetize on Facebook and Instagram. And of course, we will have Q&A. So let's go ahead and dive right on in. All right, so recently, Facebook made an announcement that they were rebranding, and their new brand name is Meta. So it created all this, it literally created an uproar in terms of, why they changed their name. Does it impact anything? All of these different things. So, one of the Ezer agency's partners is Facebook. So we are very fortunate and grateful to be able to have an in terms of getting this information firsthand, understanding what it means and how it impacts our clients, and how it impacts the community of Facebook users and all of those things. The new name Meta it actually takes the place of Facebook Inc. So there's Facebook the app, and then there's the parent company that was Facebook Inc. And truthfully, it sounds crazy to say it now, but Mark Zuckerberg had no idea that Facebook would be Facebook when he started it in 2004. He had no idea that would be where it is. I mean, he probably had some idea, but to the extent of having to go to Congress and explain certain things, and I'm sure he didn't expect that part. So this rebrand is to help create streamline and structure to the family of apps. So Facebook actually doesn't, Meta, because Facebook Inc. is now Meta. So Meta does not recognize themselves as a social media company. They are not. They are a tech company because they have all of these entities underneath them. So they have Facebook, the app, which isn't the name Meta, which is why you don't see Meta's logo up on Facebook when you log in. It's still Facebook because Facebook, the app, that stands the same. But you will see Meta based on wherever they normally would put Facebook Inc. You would see Meta moving forward. So they have Facebook, they have Instagram, they have WhatsApp, they have Audience Network, They have Oculus. They have the Facebook portal, which is quite awesome. And they're also creating this amazing augmented reality experience, which is the metaverse that people are talking about. So in the grand scheme of things, when it comes to Facebook and Instagram, the rebrand really isn't impacting them on a granular level. They're still, Instagram is still Instagram. Facebook, the app, is still Facebook, the app. It's just now their parent company is no longer Facebook Inc. It is now Meta. So hopefully that provides some clarity to the whole, name change and all of that. They're wanting to become very clear that they consider themselves a tech company and they're product based. So Facebook, the app, is a product. Instagram is a product. Those kind of things. So that's where that comes in. Any questions so far? And if not, we can go to the next slide. Awesome. So, Facebook before, and I'll go back a little bit more. Before Cambridge Analytica, which is around all of the elections and things like that. Before that, Facebook was really reactive. It was built that way, meaning if you see something on the platform, you say something. But oftentimes people don't know that they're seeing something that they shouldn't see, or that is propaganda or is misinformation. They don't know that. So how do you report something that you have no idea should be reported? So now they have completely shifted that model. They are completely, they're trying to be as proactive as possible, managing the 2.7 or 2.8 billion people on their platform, and making sure that they are being proactive and being intentional with how they are with their community, how they are with every active monthly user, how they are with the advertisers, and how they are with the creators. The platforms, algorithms, you'll hear that quite a bit. The algorithm is like a science-based arithmetic process, right? So even, the people who are closest to the platform, they don't even know all of the ins and outs unless they're in that department, of how that algorithm, it flows and all of that. We do know that it's based on relevancy. It's based on your messaging. It's based on how people engage with your content. And it's also based on the overall the timing of when you do it. So there are different algorithms too, right? So with that in mind, Facebook said, you know what, we're going to be proactive in just making sure we're building a platform or platforms that keep people first. Yes, this is an algorithm. Yes, this is an app. Yes, this is all of these things. But we want people to know that we're not just here, which they are not. I'm proof of that in them hiring Ezer to help them build out some of these programs. But they want us to know that like they're committed to the communities that they're building on their platform. So in 2020, they unveiled a very extensive plan to support all of the content creators on their platform and help them to monetize their content that they're creating. So it's no longer, when people say, oh, social media is just for engagement, it doesn't matter. That's no longer true. That is not true to the least bit. You can monetize directly on the platform, whether you are a content creator and or a business. And they also wanted to provide additional support and or services to those people in the process. So underneath on this slide, you're going to have some links that I was very intentional. I wanted to share with you all. So if you are a content creator, and a content creator is more of you're building a personal brand. So not a business, meaning something that can eventually be disconnected from you, but you're building a brand and your face is very present on that. That would make you a content creator. That would make you more of like an influencer. So Meta for creators, that's the hub where they share, press releases, they give you updates on everything. They tell you the new latest and greatest for Facebook as it relates to content creators. Some of that content actually does apply to small businesses. So I would highly recommend that you guys just kind of bookmark that and just keep, every month. I check it all the time because I'm in the industry, but every now and then just check to see what's new. Just check to see what they have released information on. And then on Instagram, they actually have profiles that do the exact same thing for Instagram. So they have the creators account. This is where they share trends. They share, accounts to follow. They share, tips on how to do reels. They share tips on how to leverage stories. All of these amazing things that people can kind of save, bookmark, and replicate for their own brand. And one thing that is kind of really special, near and dear to my heart, is their commitment to supporting Black businesses and Black creators. They created a program called We the Culture, and We the Culture is dedicated to highlighting those content creators and people of color that would otherwise may not get the same recognition and representation without the support and leverage of having that space to that Facebook is saying, hey, these are the amazing content creators on our platform that are people of color that should have the recognition that they deserve. So they are, those are two profiles I highly, highly recommend that you follow. And again, they share all kinds of content. I know We the Culture has live, so they'll actually invite the content creators to take over the page and have conversations about everything from health and wellness to fashion to activism. Everything you can think of, they talk about. Awesome. I don't see any questions, so we can keep going. All right, so I did talk about this in the first slide, in the first few slides, but I want to reinforce the difference between the business accounts and the creator accounts. Now, again, it applies more to Instagram, not to say it doesn't apply to Facebook, but Facebook has much more complexities in terms of the algorithm and the customization and all of that. So it's a little different on Facebook. Instagram is very much like Twitter. Either you have a private account or a public account, right? There's not much customization there. It's either private or public. And because of that, the categories that you choose is really, really important. It's very important. So if you decide that you are a business on Instagram, you have more access and leverage on the advertising side. So when it comes to the paid ads, boosting your posts, those types of things, your algorithm is designed to help you leverage the power of Instagram. If you are a content creator, it has more leverage on growth. It has more leverage on engagement. You get more tools in terms of, the things that influencers deal with, like they get, a lot of comments all the time. And because of that, they have tools that help them to automate and all of these things. So their algorithm is indeed different. So I want to make sure you all know, be very intentional of what account you decide to choose. Facebook isn't going to say, hey, you chose a creator account and you're supposed to be a business. However, it's going to impact the results of your content because of the algorithm associated with it and the features that would be available to you. For example, badges, which is on Instagram, that's not available to businesses. It's available to creators though. And we'll talk more about what badges are in a second. So it's very, and be very intentional with that, and do not switch back and forth. So even if you are a business account, don't switch your profile from business to personal. It really messes with your data and your analytics, and it's not worth it. Just stick with one and stay with one.
Ultimately, I have a question.
Yes.
When you say paid media, you're meaning like boosting? That's what you're
Yes.
referring to with that, correct?
Correct. And boosted posts. So like paid media, there's actually a designated space for advertising for all of Facebook's platforms. So Facebook, Instagram, Audience Network, and it's called Business Suite. It's called Facebook Business Suite. There is where it is always recommended where if you were to spend money on any of the platforms, that's where you build your campaign, because you can literally research your audience, build your campaign, test everything there. If you boost directly from your post, you just don't have those options. You don't have the liberty of being able to see estimated things about your campaign and the results. You don't have all of that. And they haven't officially said that they would get rid of boosting. The writing is on the wall. They haven't updated that in a very, very long time. They have no intentions of updating it, I've heard. So, I'm encouraging anyone who spends money on the platform, start to get comfortable using Facebook Business Suite. It's also called Facebook Business Manager. It just depends on if it's been updated for you yet. Start to get used to using that and Ads Manager versus boosting your posts, because it's Facebook's house. And at any point, they can snatch that away. And I don't want anybody to get caught in, just the familiarity of boosting a post and then one day it's gone. But that is exactly what I'm talking about. Paid media is essentially a boosted post. And I see a question. What if you are a creator and signed up originally as a business on Facebook? Very, very great question. So on Facebook, you can actually switch your category. So it'll be under your business settings for your page. And you can make sure you have the right categories as a public profile. So that's when, if you go to someone's Facebook page, that's not a personal account, it's their Facebook page, but you see public figure, they have a creator account. Because a business, it doesn't say public figure. It says, business, or it says nonprofit organization. Those are the categories that you choose. And another great thing with Facebook business profiles that, when I say business profiles, that includes business accounts and creator accounts. A lot of people don't realize everything for Facebook is customizable. Literally everything. You can change your template of how your business profile looks on Facebook. So you can have a template where your services or your button, your call to action button is for services or to contact us or to learn more information. You can customize all of those things, and it's in your business settings. So I hopefully that answers your question. But yeah, you can switch it out. I just don't recommend doing that often because it's like a reset. It's like a reset to your algorithm. Any other questions before we go to the next slide? Awesome. Okay, next slide. All right, so the nitty gritty of the monetization on the platforms. So again, I know this is kind of visual. We'll talk about them. Ask me questions as we go through. But I would highly encourage, after this webinar, you take some time to actually go through and research about the different things. Go on your Facebook business page and see if you have eligibility for these things, because some of them require certain eligibility requirements, some don't. So the first one on here is paid online events. So if you think of, the Facebook Lives and, everybody's video is where it's at. Instagram is becoming more of a video platform every single day. So it's Facebook. So, that experience is not going away. They know that. And they also know that a lot of businesses go live to share content. A lot of content creators go live to share content. And that's free content if it's just the Facebook Live. Now you have an opportunity to have paid online events. And it could be a paid online event and it'll show up as if, it's a physical event, but you have to pay for it. Or it could be a virtual event, but you have to pay for it. And you can either connect it to a live Facebook Live event that will only be available to the people who pay, or it could be connected to a Zoom. So, you can put the Zoom link in for those who have paid to have the content, and they would receive that information once they pay. But that's an option for businesses and content creators. You can have paid online events on the platform, and you can schedule them out as far as you want or as early as you want. From a marketing perspective, I would say don't, having a paid online event and it'd be tomorrow because you can't promote it properly. But they don't have any restrictions on that. And the events can be from 99 cents up to $99. And from a user experience, Facebook made a partnership years ago that they never really activated until now, but it was with PayPal. So now, whether it's through e-commerce shopping or paid online events, the user experience is fairly simple. They'll see the event, they'll see the cost associated, and they'll click to say buy now, and it actually integrates with their PayPal, and they can just go ahead and do it through PayPal, totally secure. So nothing is stored with Facebook, and then you're good to go. Facebook, if you are the business or the creator, they do payouts every third Monday of the month. So if you have, a paid online event and you have, great turnout, people have paid, the payout for any of these monetized features is every third Monday of the month. I do believe that eventually you would have more customizations to that. It's just that these features, a lot of them just came out June of last year. So since they're still fairly new, they kind of have a little rigidness to them. But Facebook is always updating things and making sure that it's the ideal experience for the people using it. Another monetization feature is Facebook Watch. So here's something that's very interesting that a lot of people don't know. Facebook Watch, anybody can create a series. You don't have to be a celebrity. You don't have to be an influencer. If the Ezer agency had some amazing idea for some video content and we wanted to make it a series, we can create a Facebook Watch series. And based on the views, we could get paid for it. Because the more views you get, they then incorporate ads into it. That's where the ad breaks are. And instead of Facebook, at one point, Facebook was, they would get the ad dollars from that advertiser who's getting that space. But now they're sharing the money with the business and or creator. So if it's my content and your video is being put in my ad break, I get a piece of that pie. And I get a piece of that that money that Facebook is making off of the content that I'm creating. That's how this is working. So just know, Facebook Watch is open for everybody. And if you're a content creator, you can create your own series on Facebook Watch. I will say that you really have to be very strategic in how you promote it to get the views, because everything is on Facebook Watch, from Red Table Talk to Taraji P. Henson's latest series. I just saw Tina Knowles, who is Beyonce's mom. She has a series on Facebook Watch. So everybody can create a series, but it's just about the marketing and the approach of how you do it. And the more views you get, that's where the money is, the more money you get. Any questions so far? Just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. I'm checking the chat and questions. Okay. So we also have on Facebook fan stars. So this is more geared toward influencers or public figures rather than businesses, but it's almost identical to badges. on Instagram. So if you are a content creator and a public figure on Facebook and you go live and you are sharing content, instead of people saying, hey, my Cash App, if you want to donate, my Cash App is blah, 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 you can have fan stars, and people buy stars, and it could be 99 cents up to $5.99. And it sounds really small, but if you're a content creator or an influencer or a public figure and you go live and you have 300, 400 people that are, watching your live, and they donate 99 cents to get a star, to give you a star, that adds up. So it's a really amazing tool to just support the creators and support the public figures on the platform when they're creating free content through Facebook Lives. I see a question. I've been invited to a Facebook creator and get paid. The invite pops up and then disappears. I'm interested, but the invites came at the height of the retail season. Yes, and that was because it was retail season. I know there was a deadline attached, but how do I find out? So if you receive that invitation from Facebook, know that you are on their radar. And when I say that, that means that there's a very high possibility that you will get an invitation again. Once the invitation goes away, unfortunately, they're very, the opportunity comes and then the opportunity goes. But that doesn't mean that the opportunity will never come back. So if you see it again, jump on it. Go ahead. Even if you're not quite ready yet, that will get you in contact with someone at Facebook who can initiate and start that conversation of what that would look like for you, for your brand, and how to make it work. So next time, because there will be a next time, because that means you're on their radar. They'll promote it to you. Go ahead and start that process. Everything that I'm talking about is on business pages. Everything. So if you're on this webinar and you have a business and you are promoting that business through a personal page, you are currently in violation of their guidelines on the platform. Please, please, please make sure you have a business page if you are promoting business. The personal pages don't have any of this because you're a person. You're on the platform to experience the platform. You're not on the platform to promote, to build, to cultivate. That's not what you're doing. You're there for friends and family. So that is a fantastic question. Please, 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 if you are a business owner and or content creator and you have products, services, or goods that you are selling, please make sure that you have a business account. Now you can promote from your personal page if you have a business account, but not just exclusively from your personal account. I'll give you an example. When we promote as Ezer, we post first on the Ezer agency. I share that content to my personal page. But then I'm also I'm very strategic with what I share to my personal page because that's my friends and family. That's not my audience. It may sound cool. I may want you to support my business in some type of way, but from a long-term strategy, they're not my audience. So it just, think of those things, but make sure you're in compliance. I have had clients that were not in compliance with that. Facebook has a 0 tolerance. Instagram's tolerance to it is less. They will yank pages and ignore because they feel as if you should know the rules and the guidelines and the restrictions. And if you are a business, it is your obligation to be aware of those things. So if you are in violation, they will literally shut your page down and there will be no communication, even if you have support like someone like me or the Ezer agency who has direct contact with Facebook teams or Instagram teams. They have a 0 tolerance to it. All right, so Facebook bonuses. This is very, very new, like in a month, kind of new. So Facebook bonuses is just helping brands to leverage, and this is more for like the businesses side. So it's helping businesses to leverage and monetize based on what works for them. So and you'll see like if you click that link, It'll take you directly to the information about Facebook bonuses. And I believe it'll show whatever business pages that you're connected with, and it'll show like a green check mark if it's eligible. Like, so that green check mark means you're eligible for it. You can have bonuses, which are paid, like they're paying you for the content, for if you have great performance in terms of your data, like engagement and things. You can do it for views. And I believe there's one other option. There were 3 options on the list where you can, start to monetize these things based on what is really excels for your business, for your platform, rather than Facebook telling you, hey, we can pay you for X. So that one's really, really new. And I would say this, all of these platforms all these features are evolving. Facebook is always evolving. Social media is always evolving. So you have to come in to these experiences with curiosity and a little bit of grace, and know that if you find any errors, you do something and there's a glitch or whatever, you reach out to Facebook and they're listening. Their product team, they watch. They sometimes launch things, and I've said this before, they launch things knowing it has errors because they want people to get mad, because when people are mad, they tell you exactly what they want rather than you guessing, and they take that information and they put in exactly what people want. So they don't look for perfection. It's one of their mottos. Perfection is the enemy of progress. They put stuff out knowing it has glitches to get feedback, to get to know what people want, so they can do it exactly how people want it. That's a strategy for them. Facebook Shop. So Facebook Shop is Facebook's version of Instagram Shop, of IG Shop. It's been around much longer than Instagram Shop, so you have more advertising capabilities. You can create collections and things like that. Instagram now has those things, but Facebook had it first. Facebook is the OG in a lot of these spaces when it comes to social media. So in Facebook Shop, you can integrate, like, let's say you have product, you can integrate that product into your post, to where if you are talking about that product in the post, it's tagged and people can buy it directly from that post and they don't have to go look for it. Right. And one thing to note too, with both Facebook and Instagram Shop, and we'll talk about Instagram Shop in a moment, but you have 2 options. People can either go to your website to buy, or they can buy directly from the platform. And that is also through the integration and the partnership that Facebook has with PayPal. They both come with pros and cons, right? The pros side, if you choose the website, like, hey, just take people to my website, you get that traffic to your website, which is really great. But it is a known fact that the more barriers of entry or barriers to conversion that you have, the more likely people will drop off. So if you choose to just keep the product on your website, you'll have higher abandoned carts than if you were to keep it directly on the platform and the person can just buy right then and there. So it's just something to consider. You got to weigh the pros and cons, what works best for you, and what strategy you want to take. Okay, so I see a question. Are all of these features in one place? Where do I find them? So no, they're not all in one place. That sounds too much like right. But that's why I provided these links. So on each of these slides, those are hyperlinks and they go directly to each of these features, or so you can either learn more or you can see if you are eligible for it. So they're not all in one place. Unless if you are in Business Manager, I do believe they have a spot that's called monetization. It is there. So if you go to Business Manager and you go to monetization, you'll see everything that's available to you in that spot. And yeah, so I hope that helps. And I see another one. It says, I sold a lot of stuff on Facebook before Marketplace was a thing. I've seen the shop feature and I'm interested in selling, but I don't want to sell fine art and products in a marketplace junk type setting. Yes. Okay. So Facebook Marketplace is totally different from Facebook Shop. So Facebook Marketplace, that's kind of like, I'll use eBay. That's kind of like an eBay style type of place where anybody, Altamise as a person can go on there and sell something. I actually am. I got some light fixtures downstairs that are brand new that I can't use. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll just, sell them on the marketplace. That's what the marketplace is for. Facebook Shop is dedicated for products from a brand, from a company and or creator. So they're two totally different experiences. So I would definitely look into Facebook Shop and, figure out if you wanted to, drive people to your website or keep it on platform, but build that out. They do have official partnerships for Shop. One is Shopify. So I'm sure if you have products, you've heard of Shopify. They are an official partner of Facebook Shop and Instagram Shop. So Facebook and Instagram have given them more of the premium features and access for their customers if they're, using Shopify and then integrating it into Instagram and or Facebook. So yeah, marketplace is good too. I won't say it's not. Just know it's more eBay style. It's more of a peer-to-peer. It's not necessarily just for businesses, whereas Facebook Shop, that's to a business and or creator. A personal page can't create a shop. They can't do that. Fan subscriptions. Okay, so we're hearing this stuff about fans only pages, right? Where you get free access to this, but then you got to pay, a subscription of $3.99, $4.99 to get access to this exclusive content that I make. That's kind of like a funnel. You get the free content, but if you want the good stuff, you got to pay a small percentage every single month or a small fee every month to get access to that. Facebook pages have that. However, it is currently available to public figures and or creators, content creators only. So that essentially means if you have a creator page on Facebook, there is your main page that we're used to seeing. That's the typical page. But then there will be a spot of your page where people can subscribe to be a monthly subscriber, and you can create content behind a firewall that gives them a completely different experience. So they just released this in June 2021. So it's still fairly new, and I think they're phasing it out in waves. So not all public figure pages or creator pages have access to it yet, but it's coming. So they're like doing it in phases. You'll see that quite a bit with Facebook and Instagram where, somebody's profile will be updated and have a totally different look, feel, and then someone else has the old version. It's just because they're phasing it out, and they don't tell anybody which group you're in. They just phase it, and eventually everybody will have it. But that also applies to their motto, right? So instead of making it wide for everybody, they do it in phases because they already know it's kind of janky. Like they already know that. So they're like, this group is really going to tell us how they feel. Like they're going to let us know. So they're going to do it in this isolated group first, get the information, get the feedback, make some tweaks, add more people, get some information, get the feedback, add more people. That's their approach. Any questions so far? Awesome. And I hope this is helpful. All right, next page. All right, so for Instagram, so we're going to go, since we were just talking about Facebook Shop, we're going to go right into Instagram Shop. IG Shop is awesome. I have purchased from Instagram personally. This lipstick I got on is from an Instagram shop, Sarcastic Cosmetics, which is absolutely amazing. I was just telling Claire, I was like, oh my God, I think they're better than MAC. Like to say that and like really mean it, but it's literally a Black owned business, on Instagram. She created an Instagram shop and she sells her products there. And it's amazing. Now, Instagram shop, if you have products that you connect to your profile, you can also tag those products. So that goes into Instagram shop tagging. You can tag your product into your Instagram lives, meaning if you go live and let's say you're wearing your shirt that's in your shop, or you have, you know, the mug behind you, or you're talking about a book that you recently released, you can have the book product directly tagged into that live, where people are going to go on Instagram, they're going to see your live, and right underneath your live video is going to be your product tagged. And as you're talking, they can click and buy. Super simple, super simple. Now, if you have the product connected to your website, it will take them off of that live and it'll drive them to your website, which again, that, you know, you got to think about the abandoned carts, that people are less likely, because it triggers that thought process of like, wait, it's no longer impulse. So they'll be like, wait, let me make sure I want to do this. And sometimes they'll be like, oh, I'll come back, and they forget, that kind of thing. But you can tag in lives. You can tag in IGTV. So IGTV and lives, if you're trying to think of what's the difference between them, IGTV is like Facebook Watch. So it's more of like, and the competitor is YouTube. So it's more like pre-produced content that is more long form. So it's typically longer than like a live video, or most definitely longer than a story or a reel. But it's pre-produced content that you can then put on the platform for consumption. But you can tag content, you can tag your products in IGTV. You can of course tag it in your post, and you can do it in lives. It is a game changer if you have content and you go live and you talk about it, or it's like a subtle thing. Like again, like if you have a book and you have the book behind you, or you're wearing the shirt, it could be a subtle sale. So it's not really you going live talking about your t-shirt, but you give people the opportunity to buy it while they're listening to your live. Let's see here. Just making sure I'm not missing any questions. I know this is a lot. That's why I gave that that disclaimer at the very beginning. So please know, like I'm totally aware this is a lot of information and you're probably just digesting everything. But please make sure, like if there's anything that interests you, do some more research. We are always here to help and give you some additional insight and things like that. I see I have an e-commerce site and I pay for another commerce product to sell. Does Facebook and Instagram integrate with what I'm already paying, like WooCommerce? Yes, WooCommerce is an integration. Now, I don't know if they are an official partner in the way that Shopify is. I think they are, but yes, they integrate to where you can take your Woo e-commerce site and integrate it into IG Shop and Facebook Shop, and it'll all connect. So your sales will still flow there. You'll see everything there. So yes. IGTV ad monetization. So how Facebook did Facebook Watch, where the content creator can now get profit from like a percentage of the profit from the advertisers who are then being inputted into their content. They have done the same thing for Instagram. So, and it doesn't just apply on new IGTV content. It can go back on previous content that you have. So what I'll in layman's terms, this looks like, and it applies to the brand and the content creator on Instagram. So this looks like an influencer will do health and wellness. So let's say an influencer like Black Girl on Ohm, which focuses on yoga, wellness, self-care. They have a lot of IGTV content, and they have opted in to have ad monetization. They tell Instagram, our categories are self-care, health and wellness, yoga, right? So so keep that in the back of your head. The categories matter. Categories matter. They tell Instagram, these are our categories. The advertiser then says, hey, my categories are health and wellness. Doesn't have to be all three. So as long as they hit one, health and wellness, and whatever other categories they have. And I would like to advertise on Instagram. And here's my budget, and here's my audience, right? That's the typical way of advertising on the platform. You tell them your budget, you tell them who your audience is, they go after the audience, and you get the results. Now, because that content creator, because Black Girl Unknown has said, we're opening up our IGTV to have advertisers come in, it is very possible that that advertiser can be on the influencers' content. So it would integrate, and the content creator can actually choose where those ad breaks are. So they can have it either before the content, they could have it after the content, because Black Girl Unknown is yoga. So they wouldn't want to have like a yoga session and right in the middle of downward facing dog, you have an ad pop up and it just totally messes up the whole vibe. So the content creator can choose like, oh, do not put ads here, but you can put them here, here, and here. So that's another amazing feature. And it kind of, on the back end, it creates a bit of collaboration between the advertiser and the content creator. The only thing is you got to be really, really intentional with your categories. So when you set up your business profiles, those categories, when they ask you like, hey, what are your categories for your business? They matter. They matter. If you put in things that are not necessarily correct, your content could go to a content creator's IGTV. It has nothing to do with your audience. So it's irrelevant, right? But imagine, and the power behind this is that content creator, their audience is indeed the people you want. That's the power of what they just did. So they're taking you directly to the influencer through advertising. You get the ad space. The content creator has already said yes, because in order for you to get on a content creator's, IGTV, they have to opt in. And then they say, yes, I'm open to being paid in IGTV based on my views. And you can put the ad breaks in, but I'm going to tell you where to put them, right? So the power in that is that you're getting directly to the audience through the influencers on the platform. So, but it's really important to make sure you have the right categories. And then they took that a step further with Brands Collab Manager. So influencer marketing is what we're hearing about all the time. It's not going away. It's getting much more complex, much more advanced. And this feature is definitely a product, and it's a product to that. Through Facebook, you can now find influencers from the research all the way down to contract and negotiation, all the way into post analytics and data. If you create a influencer marketing campaign with an influencer outside of this, you get like the public facing results, right? So you see the likes, you see the comments, you see the reactions. But through Brands Collab Manager, if you build that relationship with the influencer through that portal or that platform, you get access to the saves, the things that people don't see just looking at an Instagram account. You get to see the impressions, you get to see the reach, you get to see all of those things through this portal. So it's really powerful. It's still very, very new, very, very new. So if you are either a content creator or a business, I highly recommend that you just set up an account, familiarize yourself with it. The influencers in the platform, I know when you think of influencer marketing, you think of, partnering with an influencer that paying them thousands of dollars. You don't have to do that. There are influencers on there that are considered micro influencers, meaning they have 100,000 followers or less. Nano influencers are like 10,000 or less. They're on there too. and you can create an experience and a partnership that's unique for you two, because it's with the business and the creator directly. And you guys can, work out the negotiation, how many posts will be included, will it include stories, what are the rates for it, what's expected, what hashtags, all of that can be through Brands Collab Manager. And then you see the results as well. So it's a very powerful platform when it comes to influencer marketing and just creating partnerships between creators and brands. Okay, let's see. I see, is there a technical support for that integration? Yes, because they know it's new. So if you sign up for Brands Collab Manager and you have any issues, they do have like a help ticket, like you could do all of those things. I will say this, and my team, they know this all too well. If you monetize on the platform, if you spend money on the platform, there is actually a live help support process where you can chat with someone directly at Facebook or Facebook rep, and they would help you through that. That's only if you pay, like you're an advertiser on the platform. And the reason being is because organic content is organic content. They can't help you with that kind of stuff. But if you're running an ad and you're like, my ad is not doing well and I'm trying to figure out what's going on, or something just went wrong and I don't have any idea what's going on, and you're spending money on the platform, they do have a help support for that. So yes, they do. Is Brand Collab Manager like Facebook Business Manager, a platform for the back end work? Yes, it is. It is. And Brands Collab Manager, just think of it as a influencer marketing portal, because that's exactly what it is. And they are actively pitching and encouraging content creators to join this platform of all sizes. So it doesn't necessarily mean, 10,000 plus followers. They are encouraging all content creators to go on this platform and encouraging businesses to get on the platform and find their influencers and build those relationships. How do you find the influencers on Ezer? So it's kind of like a search engine, right? So that's why your categories matter. That's why your categories matter, because if you input the wrong categories, it's not a person, it's not someone at Facebook that's pairing up the influencers with the brand. It's an algorithm. So based on the categories, it's going to filter up those type of influencers that the algorithm believes aligns with your content. And then you can, check out their Instagram profile, look at their content, see how they engage. And I will say, like, since we're talking about influencer marketing at this point, it's really important to check out the engagement and how their audience responds to them. And think of your objective, right? So if your objective is reach and have as many people see it as possible, you probably want a large influencer who gets that reach for you. If your objective is, I need sales, I want to connect with someone who could sell my shirt or sell my product, coffee mug, whatever. Find an influencer that when they speak to their audience moves. And that does not always equate to followers. Actually, most of the time, it doesn't equate to followers. I have seen influencers with well under 10,000 followers, and whenever they say, oh my God, I love this product and it's absolutely amazing, people buy it. And people are like, where's your link? Oh my gosh, where can I buy it? And the conversion is, and they're under 10,000 followers. And there may be some people on here who literally, if you tell your friends and family, I love this product, I love this person, I love this brand, their friends and family will be like, I'm gonna invest just because you said it's great. That's influence. That makes influencer marketing. So really be thoughtful of what your objective is. So what do you want to get out of the relationship, and what that influencer provides, because an influencer that provides great reach may not provide great conversion. an influencer that provide great conversion may not have the depth of reach in terms of the number of followers. So just something to think about. Any other questions? Awesome. And I think that's it. I think we're at the Q&A slide. Yes. Awesome. So again, I know this is a lot of information. I know that those are a lot of tools, a lot of features. I highly recommend that you just take some time to go through, read about them and see what is the best fit for you and your brand. And then, go from there and start to take the time to actually set them up. There is a process to set them up because Facebook will pay you. So they're going to ask for your EIN because you do have to have an EIN, whether you are a creator or a business. And they're going to want business banking. So they do not accept like personal banking. They expect it to be a business banking account, and that's what they pay out. So that's how they pay you. Yeah.
Okay. One more question just popped in, I think. Yeah. Yes, Lori. Yes, you will have access to the presentation. I will send it out later today once it has finished its recording. So thank you, Altamise, so much. We really appreciate it. Lots of great information. And Altamise will be back 3 more times this year with TikTok, LinkedIn, and Pinterest. So that should be lots of great information. We look forward to that. And then next Thursday, we're going to start our QuickBooks series, which will be 5 sessions this year, back with Chuck Emery. So that was a great success last year as well. And then we have in February, Google My Business, how to set that up with Google trainer Deming Bass. And if you are in need of a mentor, please visit our website, which will come along with the presentation, and you can sign up for a mentor. They can be conducted in person, Zoom, phone, whatever you feel comfortable with, all confidential. And we are looking for volunteers. If you would like to be a part of our workshop presentation today, if you are interested in mentoring, we also need graphic designers, social media expertise, and we are in immediate need for Spanish speaking business mentors also. And then follow us on social media, just what Altamise has been talking about for up-to-date information. And then we are powered by SBA as well. Everybody have a great day. Happy New Year. And thank you for attending today.